Hello and welcome to another video. As you see from the title, this is not a proper full update, which I plan to do at some point. This is just a follow-up to my last video about duplicates. It's the third time I tried to shoot this video. I tried to shoot it yesterday and I ran out of space on my phone. And I've tried again just about 10 minutes ago. I'm out of breath because I got about 8 minutes in and Amazon was downstairs, so I had to go and get the parcels. And fortunately, at the same point about the videos yesterday, I had to stop. So hopefully I can finish this one. So I'll probably keep this a bit brief than I was planning to do, just because I want to get this video done. And no more car distraction. And I'll have to stop this video. And I don't get too many opportunities to get a chance to shoot videos. So you see, I'm in a different room as well. My bedroom, well, basically the stuff I got for sale is. So what happened was, as I mentioned, I saw my steelbooks out and I noticed, I just thought, I've got Zombieland here and I've got a normal release of this as well as the steelbook, and I obviously don't need both versions. So I thought, you know what, I've probably got a lot of these, I don't need to keep them all, so I'll take them off the shelf and sell them. So I initially took all my took the steelbooks off that I knew I had like regular releases of. Then I went through my normal case releases and took off the ones that I thought I had steelbooks of. Then I checked my list on Blu-ray.com, although that wasn't obviously updated on the fact that I'd taken ones off. So some things I might have looked at and I'd already taken off the shelf. And then I checked a spreadsheet I've got. It wasn't an up-to-date version, but it had enough on there that I could see. So what I basically did was I pulled off all the titles and I went through each one, just checked the disc was the same, because I don't want to get rid of something and it's a different release. So I had things like Princess Bride. I had 2 different releases of that, but it was the same contents. Requiem for a Dream, I had 2 different releases of that, but one had some different extra features, different, I think, deleted scenes on, some other different stuff. And I had one where I thought the deleted scenes were different, but they were just in a different order. I had things, we had box sets, which I got like box set, for instance, The Matrix, but I got them as steelbook, so I didn't need the box set for that. The box sets which I've got rid of or be getting rid of is, for instance, the Predator. So I got Predator 1 and 2 on steelbook. I didn't have Predators. Didn't get the original Play.com steelbook release, and I missed out on the Trilogy one. But I did order the Trilogy one from Amazon. I think it was Italy. So we'll have all those films in steelbook, including Predators, which I haven't got at the moment. So I can replace that box set. I've also upgraded some of the titles which I'll show in a moment. So the main thing was basically I got a direct duplicate. So like Boogie Nights I've got in a steelbook, Apocalypto a steelbook, Breaking Bad I had all these, but I have got the steelbook. Now when I looked at the back I thought these were different, like extra features, because I couldn't see things listed on the other one, but I checked them and they were exactly the same. Batman I've got in an animated Batman set, so didn't need that. That I've got a future pack of. This I've got an Audrey Hepburn box set of 3 films. Funny Face, Sabrina, and this. Obviously this has got a slipcover, but I've got the other film in there, so I don't need to keep that. I had also another box set I bought fairly cheap on Amazon a while back. I think it had Cannonball Running or Smokey the Bandit, one of those 2 films. It also had Earthquake, Animal House, and The Sting. Well, I'm keeping The Sting because I got a digibook version of that. But Earthquake, I had, and Animal House, separate releases. I didn't need to keep those, so I got rid of those as well. So yeah, there was quite a lot, actually, more than I thought, because initially it took me a week to go through everything, but then I kept finding more titles. For instance, today, or a couple of days ago, I picked up The Howling off my shelf and realised I got a steelbook of that. Clerks, Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer. So it was actually a lot more than I thought, and I was sort of think I'm there now with pulling stuff off. I think I've got most things off. So I've had to keep things like Sound of Music, because I've got a 2-disc release and a 2-disc steelbook, but the second disc in both is different. I think the original second disc had a lot more stuff on. They did new special features, but they didn't put that on the other disc, and they didn't include the other disc, so I'm keeping that for the extra features. Same with Gone the Wind. They did a Neo case release, and that had, again, a different second disc. So the original second disc wasn't included, and that basically had all their special features on. So I'm into keeping that. I had a steelbook of that as well, but the steelbook hasn't got the just one disc. Annoyingly, they do that. I've got a Clint Eastwood set I got rid of as well, of 3 films, but I've got those in the 20 film sets. I've got an 8 film Clint Eastwood box set, which are different films. There might be an overlap with the other one, although I shouldn't ask Universal, so the other one's Warner, so they'll be different. But I've got some of those individual releases anyway, so I don't need to keep that. I think I've got a cat coming. I had a Rio Bravo, which I wanted to upgrade. I missed out on the UK release, got the US release, but it was missing one of the special features off the DVD. I think there was a different Blu-ray release in America, but I think the YHD where I bought it from wasn't selling that one. But I ended up getting the UK box set, Westerns collection, which had that in with the proper UK disc with all the extra features, and some other films which I had separate, so I can get rid of those. Apart from How the West Was Won, which is only got the 1-disc version in the set, not the 2-disc version, which is in the individual release. So I ended up having about 5 crates, split them to like A to E, F to J, and so on. So once I knew I was selling, I created a new list on Blu-ray.com called Selling Sold, although I changed it to Selling now, just to save any confusion. And I listed everything I'd got up to that point and shared the list. And I got a few sales, but not too many. I was going to put them on eBay, and I listed Rocky Horror Picture, I think, but I don't know if that probably still be on there. American Gangster, although it said the listing was wrong. From Hell, which I sold the other day, and then Child's Play. I did them all as auction with minimum price, because by now eBay charge you for that, and when you're paying PayPal fees as well, and the normal eBay fees, you know, it's like £1, and it could be like £1.50. And there's no room for any extra, and I think you end up paying more for postage as well. Although it's convenient to do postage labels through eBay, and also if you actually sell things through PayPal, goods and services, you do pay a fee, but again, it's easier to do a postage label. But I had an offer for 2 offers Child's Play. One was a bit low, one was more than I actually listed for. I wasn't sure, so I held off. Then before I realised, I was going to accept it, but the offer expired. But I had another offer, which was more, so I ended up getting that. So I did sell that. And I think what the person paid plus postage was roughly what they could have got new from Amazon, but I'm not really complaining. So what I did then, on the Facebook group I'm on, I took pictures of all this, I think 20 items per page, and I list all the photos, and I sold quite a few there. Basically, people contacted me either Facebook Messenger, and annoyingly, some went through to spam folders. I didn't see them straight away, and on the post itself. And it's basically a case of me going back to them with a price. So I sort of adjusted between what a bit more than I'd get from CX. I would try not to go too close to the CX price, because although you pay postage with CX, people don't always want to pay that much. And then roughly what goes for an Amazon. So I got rough prices and I went to people. Obviously, some people pay goods and services. I had to work out how much extra, because I'll get charged a fee, and I think I misjudged on a couple. And also a couple I've probably misjudged on the postage. Should have gone a small parcel. I put as large letter. Did send them as large letter. Obviously, it wasn't losing in postage. But they got there in the end. I did them all second class because it was getting cheaper. So I think when I redo pictures, what I've got left, I will bear in mind the postage costs. I have got, as you can see, got quite a lot of boxes stored up. So I've been keeping boxes because I've got small envelopes, but people want a few items that need the boxes. I've been saving boxes up, and it came quite handy because the last lot I sold, so the last time I actually sold any was about 10 different parcels, some small envelopes and some big boxes, so it was quite handy having those, and I've got those there in case somebody wants a few, because that's what the problem was initially. Some people wanted a few items, but I just didn't have the packaging to send it in. So I think somebody wanted the Die Hard set. Now, no, I probably won't get much for the Die Hard set, and some of these I won't get much for, but I don't need them, so I might as well get something for them rather than sitting on the shelf. Other set I'd end up keeping, like Rambo, because there's an extra disc in there. Pirates of the Caribbean, there's an extra disc in there. I kept Rocky as well for packaging. Alien set I've kept. I've got other things like a Doomsday Collection one, but I don't have the Day of the Still remake outside that set. I think there's a German Steelbook, but I don't really want a German title on there. And there's a Danny Boyle set, which I've got some of the films individually, but because I don't need an individual release, Slumdog Millionaire is in the box set, I'm just going to sell the individual one. Some of the ones in there, like Sunshine, I've got a Steelbook. 28 Days Later, I've got a Steelbook. Some of them are metal packs, like the 500 Days of Summer isn't a Steelbook, but it's basically the same thing. And it's also got 127 hours in. So I was thinking, well, I've got two as a Steelbook, I've got one individual, so I'll just buy the other title individual and then sell the box set. Because I'm assuming the other two won't get Steelbook releases. And I don't think I've sold Slumdog Millionaire yet, so I might do that, but I don't want to be spending £5 buying a title just to keep an individual copy, sell a box set for the same amount. I've gained nothing then. So yeah, I went through a lot. Once I'd gone through these, I wasn't looking to get rid of anything else, but then I thought, well, for instance, African Queen, I've got that as a Eureka release and the ITV, and obviously the Eureka release is better, Master Cinema, and I don't need both, so I got rid of that. Some 101 films I had as Steelbooks and normal releases, and again, I was going to keep the normal releases, but I thought, you know what, I've got them Steelbook. And there's a title, for instance, like 3 Amigas, I've only got the Steelbook, so it's not like I've got normal release for that. I'll actually cover some of these as well, the ones I'm going to show. Home Alone, I've got that, but although it's branded as Disney now, the Blu-ray with the 4K disc is the same disc. So that, for instance, Marathon Man. I think the original one I've got, and there was a remaster. I think it was Marathon Man. There's a remaster. Forrest Gump, I've got a remastered version. What else was there? Things like Airplane. It's come out as premium collection, but it's missing some of the special features of the original release, so I've had to keep that. I've got some Disney 3D, which I haven't got the 3D in the Steelbook. Like Cars, Monsters University, those, for instance, Disney Pixar ones. Cuba and the Two Strings, I've got that. It's a Steelbook, but it hasn't got the 3D disc in. Same with Nightmare Before Christmas. I've got Iron Man 2, Indiana Jones, an Avengers film, and what else have I got? Trying to think. Life of Pi. I've got some other ones which I've got like bonus disc versions, but those aren't in the Steelbook. Funny enough, the only one I missed out on, I know, was a Fury, the Sainsbury's one, but those extra features were on the 4K disc. So I've got all the extra features that would have been on that disc, but I don't have the Blu-ray for that one. But the ones I have got, there's like one of the Planet Apes, or both of the first two new Planet Apes films. I've got bonus discs with those, so I'm keeping those. I think I've got a Digibook I'm keeping as well. I've kept a couple Monsters Escape Plan because they got lenticular slip covers, but that don't really need to keep those, but I've kept them anyway. So yeah, ones I have sold, I created a new list called Gone, and I just moved everything onto there. So I think I've sold about 60, so I got about 200 odd something, £250 or whatever it was. So I've got a lot more to sell, so I will be selling those. I wanted to shoot this video because I got ones I wanted to show separately before I put them into the crate with the other ones. So I will show you those, and then I'll take some pictures probably this weekend because it's bank holiday, and I can list quite a lot of these. Put pictures up anyway, and hopefully I've got some more people who wanted some of the original lots plus the new ones I'm putting up. So again, so I'll cover some of the ones that I've added to the pile since. For instance, all the President's Men. There's a 2-disc version of this with an extra bonus disc, but I haven't got that US only release. But I've got it as a premium collection release, so I don't need this. I wasn't going to get rid of the US ones. I'm going to get rid of some European ones, like or South African ones or Italian ones, Jason the Argonaut and a couple like that, which I've got. But I wasn't going to keep these, but I think I've decided that I'll only keep the Warner Archive ones. I don't need to keep the regular Warner releases, but I'm keeping Warner Archive, even though, you know, I've probably got quite a few of those in premium collection releases, but I don't want to get rid of those. So, but these ones as normal ones I can. When I bought these, some of these, probably most of them came in these cases. I swapped them to, well, I bought some of these normal cases. I'll put them into here. I kind of wish now I'd kept a lot of big cases, because I do have quite a few still, but don't have that many. And I binned a load, and what I'm going to do is when I sell these, I'm going to transfer them back to big cases and keep these cases, because I might want them in future. And I bought these, so I don't want to get rid of these unless I can really have to. Obviously, I want to put in this case, but this was one I had which was, well, broken because the clip doesn't work. So there's that. Some of the ones I've actually kept, as I mentioned, like Le Cercle Rouge, I've got a new 4K of that, but I'm keeping the original transfer of that. The Man Who Fell to Earth has got a booklet in the original release, a little more booklet. Ice Cold and Alex, apparently the original transfer is probably slightly better. Halloween, I've got 4K of that, but the 4K's got, I think, art cards in it, and the Steelbook hasn't. It's a Wonderful Life, I've got a Blu-ray of that with art cards and poster, and then I've got 2 4K releases of the Steelbook, and I think the Steelbook's got the remastered on 4K and the colour version on Blu-ray, whereas the normal release has got the remastered film on 4K and the remastered black and white version on Blu-ray. And I think they're both in the colour ones remastered as well, so I don't really want to get rid of that. So there's quite a few I probably could have got rid of. Again, let's sort of 3D I'm keeping, which I probably don't need to because I don't really watch 3D. And there's certain films I don't have in 3D, which I wouldn't go and buy in 3D now. But I've already got in 3D, and that's the only 3D copy I've got, that I'm keeping it. Dambusters, I've got a new set of this now, and basically everything on there is on the new one and more, and it's better. This one I've forgot about till the other day, Army Darkness. I checked, and I've obviously got a steelbook of it, so I don't need to keep that. This I've got in a Nuri Bilge Celan set, and I did check in the same discs. There was 2 already had. There was actually a third one called the Wild Pear Tree, but I don't know what I've done with that. That I've got in a Artificial Eye 4-film set. It also had Foreman 3 Weeks and 2 Days and The Class, which I didn't have individuals of. So I bought that. About 20 quid, but I think I worked out it was cheaper than buying those 2 individually. But that's in that set, so I don't need that. White Ribbon's also in that set, I don't need that. That, I've got a steelbook of that, so I don't need to keep the individual one of that. That was one I'd forgotten about, that I had a steelbook of. Black Book, that I've got the Black Labeled 101 films released, the same. I think it was, I don't know if the transfer's the same, but it's got those extra features on plus some other ones. Whilst Black Label, I've got obviously a few Black Labels ones, but I don't think many of them I've got normal other releases of. This one, like 13 Assassins, I've got a steelbook of. This I was thinking of keeping for the red slip, but the steelbook's got the 3D disc in, like some of the other ones, so I don't need to keep that. This, I actually bought this originally because I wanted the 4K one, but I've got the steelbook, so I've got the 4K release in the steelbook, so I don't need that. Same Solo. Oz, Graham Powerful, again, like Francoini. It's a nice slip, but I don't have too many of these, and I'm not necessarily going to keep things for slips, because there's a lot of things I've sold that I could have kept for slips, although I'm keeping those other 2 lenticular ones, but I don't need that. I've got this 3D steelbook, and to be fair, if I hadn't had this already, I wouldn't have gone and bought this just for the slip. So I've obviously got the steelbook. This one I've got as a steelbook. There's a newer release of this I've got as a collector's set, and I've got a version in the Criterion set and a version in the medium rare or whoever puts out Final Cut. But obviously I've got this like version in Steelbook, so I don't need that. Although I think the menus might be slightly different, possibly, but same disc. Again, US release. That I've got a 2-disc release of here. Steelbook's only 1 disc, but the second disc is a DVD of special features, and I've got a DVD Steelbook of the first 2 films, 2-disc releases, so I've got that disc in there. Star Trek is one I've recently upgraded to a Steelbook. Missed out on this originally. I've got a Star Trek Steelbook, but this is a 3-disc one. I didn't have a 3-disc Steelbook. Missed out on that, so I've got that now. These, Mr. Bongo, I was going to keep the DVDs of these, but I've either got these on Mr. Bongo DVD releases or I've got them on Cult Films releases. So, again, I don't need those. I did check them. I think some of them run times are slightly different, but they're basically the same one. And some of these transfers in these aren't great. All the subtitles aren't great, and there's no special features. So a lot of those I've got rid of. The Mr. Bongo Blu-rays I have elsewhere, I've not got rid of those. Same with Park Circus, or actually any of my Park Circus releases, I haven't got rid of those. I haven't got rid of Master Cinema ones, so I've got Steelbooks or Arrow. I was thinking about that, but I think I'll keep those for the extra feature, for the reverse sleeves. I did buy the Old Boy 4K normal release and Steelbook, which is a bit stupid really, like 50 quid, and probably didn't need to buy both, and I don't think the 4K release has reversible artwork, so I might think in future not to do that. I mean, if I already got a release and like Make 'em Well for London, then they put a Steelbook out afterwards, then obviously I'll buy the Steelbook, but I might be a bit more picky like that. 88 Films, if I got the DVD and the Blu-ray, I'm not doing anything like that. Same second run, because I'm not sure about the booklets. Third Window, I've got one on DVD and Blu-ray, Full of Sake. Both got slips, but one title, I'm not bothered getting rid of that. Same with Love Exposure. One of them was PTU's coming out from Master Cinema or Eureka, whichever brand it is. But again, I'm not sure if the special features different, so I'm just going to keep that. And again, like Dog Wolf, I've got one on titles on DVD, but I've got in a box set. But again, I'm going to keep that. That I've got Titans of Cult Steelbook, and I also getting the Destination Series Steelbook. That was one again I'd forgotten I got the Steelbook or metal pack. That's one of those ones where the 2-disc one, the Steelbooks are 1 disc, but I've got the 4K release, and the 4K release has got the 4K disc and the 2 Blu-ray discs. So although the Steelbook hasn't, both those discs are on the 4K. So I'll obviously keep the 4K release because it's a normal one, and the Steelbook, but I don't need to keep that one. That one, I couldn't find the Steelbook for actually, and I put some completely where it shouldn't be, but I found that one, and again, it's the same disc. This, so I was going to my box set to see which ones I could get rid of, and I sort of didn't think much about this one, but I checked and I've got all those on Steelbook, so I don't need this set. That one, I've got Steelbook, and I've got some of the releases of 4K, so I've checked it, it's all the same, so I need that. I was going to keep this originally, but I've got the newer one from Second Sight, and it's got all those special features. Might have some other stuff on there as well, but it's better transfer, so I don't need to keep that as well. That I've got a Steelbook of, so again, I was going to keep things like that, but then I thought there was no point because there's things I've got the Steelbook of only with not the normal release, so I don't need to keep that. Same with Super Mario Brothers, same Flying Navigator. Now I've got the Steelbook of this exact release, but I've got the new release, so I've got 2 versions, although I'm sure if I just had this one, that's on the new one anyway, so I don't need to keep that. That's one I've forgotten about. I'm keeping my Studio Ghibli. I was thinking about giving to those because I've got the numbered slips and the Steelbooks, but I think I'll keep those. And also any of the Hammer ones that potentially get Blu-ray releases, say from Indicator. I have got some Hammer ones I'm getting rid of. 3 from Final Cut, or whoever put them out. Captain Clegg, Phantom of the Opera, and Nightmare, but those coming from Indicator and the Hammer box set, and I think the exact same. Well, I don't know about the transfers, they're different, but I think the extra features are the same, so I can get rid of that as well. Need to keep those, but I'll only get rid of them when I've got the new ones. That was another one I forgot about having Steelbook of. I mentioned on that one. That's a Steelbook. That I've got a new transfer of. That I've got a Steelbook of that release, and I've got other releases of that anyway. That and Ghoulies 2, which is in there somewhere. I've got steelbook of both films in one package, so I don't need that. That was another one I've upgraded to a steelbook. Again, I didn't get the original one, missed that on Savvy, but I've got that. Did get Dead in Tombstone, but that was damaged. They contacted me to say the steelbook was damaged. They refunded me, said, "Do you want the steelbook anyway?" and listened to me, but I don't think I can repair that. Also, the one I had was I bought off Facebook Marketplace was 10,000 BC. I do have a new steelbook of that, so it wasn't like I've got, that was my upgrade for it. But the steelbook I had was rust on the side. I thought it was just marked, but it's rust. I could see it go through the other side, so I do want to get that replaced at some point. But I have got the film only as a steelbook anyway, so that's fine. I've also upgrading Prince of Persia to steelbook. I think I've got a slight dent on it apparently, but that's not too bad. I said Predator sets. The only things I know that I can upgrade are Terminator 2, the Skynet edition. There's a steelbook of that which I don't own, and Transporter 3. I think that's the two that I need to upgrade. That again, I've got a steelbook of that. That I've got a steelbook of, and I've got a 4K normal release of that. That I couldn't find that originally what I've done with that, but I've got a steelbook of that, so I don't need to keep that. I mean, it's not really particularly not numbered or anything up, and I've upgraded some of those other ones anyway. That is the only Eureka one. So I was telling Mark getting rid of Eureka ones about Master Cinema, but this is a Eureka one, and this is the only Eureka one I've got where I bought this and the steelbook came out afterwards. The other ones either came out at the same time or the steelbook came out first, so I don't need that because I've got that release anyway, and it's got the booklet and stuff. So again, I'm keeping stuff. There's booklet, for instance. I've got Angel Heart, it's a steelbook and a normal release, 4K release, but the 4K has a booklet, the steelbook doesn't. The Doors I've got as a steelbook and a normal release, but the normal release, 4K release, has got a bonus disc when they were gone. It's a documentary, I think, about the Doors, which wasn't in the steelbook, so I'm keeping that. These ones I'm getting rid of, these top foreign ones anyway. I've got that as 88 Films released these, and I think they're exactly the same. Again, there might be some extra on the other one, but I've got them in there, so I need that. That, I think, it's exactly the same disc as I've got. Well, it looks different. I think there might be a different extra feature on there, or an extra one on the other one, but I've got that in the Louis Buñuel box set. So, unless I can find out if it's the same transfer or different transfer, then I might potentially hold on to this, because if this is a different transfer and it's possibly better, then I don't want to be getting rid of that. These are bare bones, but I've got them all, the new releases of those anyway. I've got Steelbook of Piranha. There's Goonies 2, which I already have mentioned having a Steelbook. That, I've got the Arrow release. I've checked that, and it's exactly the same. Although the commentary on the production always says Stephen Poster, but it's actually Richard Kelly. I did check that because I was a bit confused. I thought it's a different commentary, but same contents on the Arrow one, and the Arrow one's got more anyway, so I don't need that. These ones I was looking for, the Steelbooks, these, because I put them somewhere. I found them yesterday. Again, bought these. Steelbooks came out afterwards, 12 months, 2 years afterwards, so I bought the Steelbooks. Don't need these because they're exactly the same. Again, that's another US one. I think these are all US ones. I've got a Premium Collection. That I've actually, it's weird, this one. I've got this as a Steelbook, but this has only got normal Dolby Digital audio, and the Steelbook's got that's the Dolby Digital 1.0, but the Steelbook's still got the HD audio. I thought my luck, knowing that the Steelbook would have the worse audio and this would have the better audio, so I'd have to keep both, but this has got the worse audio. Same extra features. The menu system's slightly different on the thing. One's just got them listed scrolling across, and so this one's got them listed on screen, and it's got a bit more explanation behind them, but it's the same extra features. Another one that I was going to get rid of was, I think it was Book of Eli. I've got the US one, Steelbook, but it's VC1. I've got UK release, which is AVC now. Probably the same transfer, but I always think AVC is better, so I'm keeping both for that. That, I've got the Premium Collection release. That, say some of these, if I think the case itself, that's got some like mark on or something, if it's not as good as the don't think the case is good enough. I might just get rid of that one in the case like that, and obviously no point keeping one like that. Again, some of these Warner ones came in these cases, normal cases anyway, and some I had to swap over, but I can't remember which ones are which. These Hanny Hall I've got in the Arrow set, Woody Allen sets. Same with that one, and the Sisters Sleeper and Manhattan. Gamera, they got this originally, just the first two of the new ones. This is a bare bones release. I got the Arrow set with all the films in. This one I bought, but someone mentioned I saw the print and said the printing wasn't too great on there. So I contacted Dog Wolf to send me another one out, a whole new one. Fair, it's not too bad. I've not as much the new ones any better really. Well, it is better, but not much better. But I don't need that one, so I can get rid of that one. That is actually again the one I've sort of forgot about. I only thought about this today. Got the steelbook of this, different artwork on the disc, but same disc. So that. This was one I picked up when it came out last year or sometime there. This came out. Another one I'll show in a moment. I picked up the US release because I wasn't sure if it was going to get UK release, but it did. It's premium collection, so I don't need this release. That I've got as I think a premium collection release. That I've got a premium collection release, which has got a Blu-ray, and also two DVDs. Initially, the second DVD was missing. They reissued it, fixed it, so I've got that. I don't need the DVDs, but the Blu. I've got the Blu-ray, obviously the same disc in there. The ones that's fine. That I've got steelbook off and it's the same disc. I think the still. Well, I don't think I've. Can't remember if I checked the steelbook if it's a UK US one, but it's got. I think the original UK one didn't have any extra features on, but it came out on the premium collection, and the extra features are on there. So I've got those. Because I think one was bare bones. Still missing stuff off the DVD, but again, it's a nice sort of glossy past slip, but I don't need to keep that. Time Machine got premium collection, Point Blank, Mrs. Miniver, Soil and Green, and two Jakes. Again, Sons Kate Elder. I picked that up, the US one. There's one I didn't pick up was the Phantom, but I wasn't overly bothered with that. But I ended up getting it anyway from the premium collection. So again, if I'd got the US one, I'd go over to that. So had this been a Warner Archive release, I probably would have kept it, but it's a normal release, so I'm not too bothered. I'm not gonna, with the Warner Archive, obviously buying ones that I don't own. I'm not gonna go and buy ones I've already got as premium collection releases, or it's got reissued Warner Archive. I wouldn't go and buy the Warner Archive release. There's ones I've got which were released as digibooks, which is as normal Warner releases, which I'm keeping, but those have been upgraded to, well, moved over to Warner Archive, but I'm not getting those. Things like Performance, the audio, it's a US, some audio's changed for the US market. Fixed it for the UK release, but again, I don't need to get that. Do want to, quite a few actually, I want to get Warner Archive, grades and DVDs, but a bit expensive to import them off WoW now because you're paying VAT and everything. And the prices don't drop as low as they used to. So yeah. And so yeah, so I got told no need to keep these. So I've still got about 88 Warner Archive, and if I was getting rid of those, I probably would have done the 15, 20 titles to get rid of, but I'm going to keep those because I do like them. The one I actually want to upgrade is Diamonds Daisy, because I didn't get the US digibook. I got like an Italian release, or some of the release, but it's missing special features. But it's now come out as Warner Archive. It's got the extra features which were missing off that other release. Basically, what I had on the DVD, which I've originally had to keep for those features, and might have some other stuff on there as well. So I do want to get that. And then I'll get rid of my other copy of it and the DVD then, because I don't need the DVD. Carrie, and this is the one. So this was one I was going to keep, but I got the Arrow release. So I was originally saying, if I got a different studio release, I'd keep both that and the Arrow release, for instance. But I don't need to keep that release. I've got the Arrow one. Things like Last Temptation of Christ, I've got on Criterion. Midnight Cowboy, got on Criterion, but it's not got extra features off the original release. Physical Wonder, the Arrow release is missing some stuff for the MGM release. Same with Dazed and Confused on the Criterion, stuff missing. So there's stuff. if there's stuff missing off the normal studio release, I'm keeping that. If it's bare bones to start with, or those extra features are on the newer one, then I'm going to get rid of it. The original version, that is. Not sure of things like I've got Tarkovsky, I've got Criterion release of some, and Artificial Eye, but I've got the full set of the Artificial Eye ones. I don't be getting rid of those. I'd rather give them all or none of them. And I think some of them, although Criterion's better, I think possibly in the Artificial Eye ones they might be slightly better, and again probably different extra features. And same with the One Kar Wai ones. There's a box set coming out from Criterion. Again, I got some of those individually, but I'll probably end up keeping those. Also, a one I'm going to get rid of, but I got rid of some Arrow Films releases, like I Wish, I think it was, and a couple of the ones where I've got them in Arrow Academy sets, so I don't need to keep both versions of those. So I think initially what I was going to do was obviously get rid of studio ones, but I've been more liberal which ones I got rid of. So I got some of the boutique ones, some of the US ones, and things like that. So probably the 40 ones I probably would like to get rid of, but there's stuff missing on the Steelbook, and some probably another 30. Probably actually, well, Warner Archive and the Arrow ones and MOC ones I could get rid of because I've got the Steelbook's normal releases. So probably another 60 I could get rid of, so probably 100 in total, but I'll keep those ones. I like the Ghibli and the Ghibli ones as well, so I don't need to get rid of them. They're quite nice, so I want to keep those. I think my phone's going to cut off in a minute because it's a bit warm. So I'll probably end this video soon. I can obviously cover stuff off for my next update, which will be, well, I don't know when I got time to shoot one. And I'll probably go through a bit more about this thing. Again, because I've shot this video bit before today and a bit earlier, and then obviously yesterday, and kind of lose track of what I've said in this video, and not saying this video, but saying the other video. But yeah, so I thought I'd go through some of these anyway, and put these in the crates now and take photos and sell them. So I've got quite a lot of titles there. So it's going to take me a while. I'll have to take pictures, post them, people come back to me, I have to quote a price, they'll be happy, pay for it, and I've got to do the post label, pack things up, take them to the post office. But I've got 4-day weekend, bank holiday, so I've got time I could spend doing that. Get this piled down, because they're taking space up, but I don't really want them lying around, get some money for them. I need the money in PayPal account for the moment. What I do is when I've got up to a certain amount, or I've sold a few more, I might just transfer the money out and put it in the savings account. Because I've spent a bit recently on the slip covers from Steelbook Central. Not only for the Steelbooks, but I've also bought ones for the sets, like Robocop and from Arrow, and Donnie Darko, and Under the Shadow, and Revenge from Second Sight. And I've put other things like the 101 Films Black Labels in them. I'm going to move Premium Collections over, imprint, so I'm moving stuff from bags, not everything, but things like that. So obviously costing money. Well, we'll go through that in the obviously update. So I thought to quickly go through this now, just, well, say quickly, it's been 40 minutes, but just show what I've been doing, and then say I'll be in my normal place next time. But yeah, say I'll be getting these. Anything I don't sell, I'll probably see what CX is offering. I'll take CX. Not really want to go to CX if I can help it, because then we offer many good prices. But I've got, and the stuff I'll probably end up having to take won't be worth much anyway. So I might just hold on to stuff, because I'll probably have stuff like, I'm getting cloud out of Steelbook in a few weeks, and I can then put the normal release in here. So there's probably the ones I can move and put in here, and I might find out the ones I've forgotten about, and ones I decide to get rid of, like some 3D ones I might decide to get rid of those. I don't know, but I'll probably add stuff to these, so I'll always have stuff probably to sell for a little bit. But yeah, that's all for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.